What up, folks? We back at it. It's the consistency and persistency of doing things correctly, right? We stay relevant to what's going on right now. Getting people on the train. The winning train, not the clout train, not the clown train, not the loser train, not the 98% train, the 2% train. You have to have a 2% mentality. Billionaires, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Do I want to be like any of these guys? Not really. But I do want to win. I want to do it correctly. I want to become wealthy, right? How the wealthy stays wealthy. Buying low at discounts and holding. They don't sell at the premium. They buy at the discount and they allow their price to go up and stay up, right? You have to know the number scale. These guys don't even know the basic scale of 100. Maybe they do. I don't know. I know it. God handed it to me and I'm handing it to you. This is my charity starts at home moment. All you got to do is listen. I don't need clout. I don't need anyone to confirm me. I know I'm right, because I do what the chart says. So I'm generating generational wealth for my family through doing it correctly. The thing that we're all supposed to do, that thing, do it correctly. And then everything else will fall into place. I did a lot of things wrong in life, but this is correct. The gauntlet. Welcome back. The dollar, the 10-year yield for the dollar, and then the 10-year yield for the Japanese yen, the volatility index for the stock market, and the fear and greed index for the stock market, and the fear and greed index for crypto. Oh, look at that. Let's remind folks to not buy crypto on Friday. Those who know, they know. You see what's happening. It's capitulating. What is a capitulation? It's when the market is pushed to the downside. It's pushed. It's market manipulated to the downside. But if you bought at the bottom, then it's really just coming back to your entry point, and then you don't have nothing to worry about, right? When you do things correctly. You have to get on the wave of it. Get on the wave of doing things correctly, and then you stay on the wave. You keep your finger on the pulse of the market through your alerts. I love how it just flows out of my head. That's this God-given talent, right? So we're going to go to the dollar. We see it's dropping. This is the dollar that we all work for. A lesser valued dollar is going to keep losing value, right? Why? Because we're printing tens of trillions of dollars. We started quantitative easing. That's what it looks like, right? When you supply dollars, the value goes down. Let's say I'm a little kid and I got rocks. Oh, I like this rock. Let me see if I can find another one. And then you find another one. Oh, okay. I like these rocks. I don't see anybody else with these rocks, so let me find another one and another one and another one. It had value when you had one. It's a rock. So if you get 100 of them, you have 100 rocks. It might be valuable to you, but ultimately when you have too many, what are you going to do with them? You're weighing yourself down. You see, that dollar is going down because it's tens of trillions of rocks that aren't worth anything. And we work for these rocks, right? And then when we work for the rocks, the government takes 40% of what we made and we get 60%. And then they give us these events, these consumer events, and then we think we have to spend money during these events, and we start giving the 60% back to the government, back to the system. That means you're working for free for your whole life. You have to stop consuming so much. Only what you need, right? Because if you don't, you got to start growing it. If you keep giving it back, why do you give it back to things that don't have value? You want to keep your money. It seems like you're being stingy, but no, You have to keep that money and put it into things that are going to appreciate the value of your dollars, because the value is going down and you're working your ass off for them and they're not even worth what they used to be worth. I got to say this so that is it finally getting through your thick skull what you're supposed to know, right? Because they teach us to go be slaves. And we go do that because that's what we're saying. Oh, that's what we're supposed to do. And then you feel bad if you don't do it. You got to start growing the money so you can get your freedom, right? This is how you do it, by applying these techniques. The dollar, again, and having alerts. You see I have the alert. It's about to hit the alert right there. So I can just move it down to the next level through the basic scale of 100. I already know where I'm going to put it when the alert goes off. Why is it dropping in the first place? Again, we're supplying tens of trillions of dollars because we're into an easing cycle. We just came out of 8 years of tightening. Now we're going through 8 years of easing, and this is the first year. We're about to go through 8 years of printing. I've never seen it before, but I do understand once you stop the tightening cycle, you go into quantitative easing, quantitative tightening, quantitative easing, right? So you see the scale for the dollar. It's dropping by 10% a year, the value. We went from 115 to 100. That's 15%. Now we're going to go from 100 to 90. That's 10%. And then from 90 to 65, because we're going down the basic scale of 100. If the U.S. dollar is losing the world currency status, then China is next up to have the world currency status. And if that's the case, then the dollar is going to go to zero. And then we have to base our currency on gold. What most countries do. Why we got off the gold standard, I have no idea. It was the dumbest thing they could have ever did. But the greedy do things for greedy purposes. We don't know what they do and why they do it, but we know that they did it for whatever benefits them. All right, so let's move on to the VIX. The 10-year. The 10-year, did I even post it? I didn't. Well, let's just say our 10-year is at 4%, and it's elevating, right? The 10-year yield is elevating. It's becoming more expensive to borrow lesser valued dollars. We see the dollar there is dropping in value, and they're raising the interest rate to make you pay more to borrow a lesser valued dollar. You see, they are playing you. When I say you, I'm talking to the thing that we all suffer. You are losing. They're raising the interest rate to make it more expensive to borrow a dollar that's going to zero. And this is for all of us, right? The 10-year yield for the Japanese yen is going up to 2.5, right? 3.5, 2.5, 1.5. 2.5 is in the middle. That's all you need to know. And again, you got to put alerts on these things. So in my WEBULL account, special, WEBULL is just, I don't know about these other brokers, but WEBULL is giving me a 10-star. I said 5-star experience. No, 10-star experience. I can go in there and put alerts for free. I don't have to have a trading view. I don't have to pay TradingView to give me more alerts. No, I can use all the alerts in WEBULL through futures contracts. I don't want the regular price. I want the futures price because it's regulated by the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. These are futures contracts. They're regulated. The real price, right? That's what we do it for. We do it for the people and not the profits. So the VIX, we saw it spike and it came right back down. And you see the market is starting to skyrocket. I hope you're seeing this. I don't have to do too much with this. The gauntlet is the gauntlet. It does what it does. Fear and greed index for the stock market, neutral. You want to sell when it's extreme greed. You want to buy when it's extreme fear. It's in the middle. We don't know yet. But it sounds like we're going into a government shutdown. So we're about to see some fireworks towards the end of the month. We got to figure out if we're going to cut the interest rates or pause, and if we're going to go into a government shutdown. On the 28th, that's when all this stuff is about to pop off. We see what's happening with crypto. We don't even have to, but it's not extreme fear. So that's the most important thing. So that's the gauntlet. We know what we got going on. We got our game plan. We did our whiteboard. And it's the consistency and persistency of doing it correctly. That's what you have to do to beat the market. You have to become the market through your alerts. Put them where they go so it will alert you. You need to know this stuff because it has everything to do with you. The market moves with integrity through its price. And if you lack the integrity of price, you don't know where to put the alerts. You should know because you use the basic scale of 100 to put your alerts where they go. Because if you don't, you're going to get wrecked. You'll be in loss review, complaining about psychology, doing the kumbaya. Shout out to an awesome trading week and investing week in advance because we do it correctly, right? Right. Hey.